Yeah, so I did finish Hacks, and Hacks, I attribute a lot of the wonderfulness of Hacks to these three people, the program creators and producers, and I guess showrunners, and they wrote a lot of the episodes, as well as some other people. That is Paul W. Downs, Lucia Antiello, and Jen Satsky. So just so we got that in. And Paul W. Downs is, of course, also an actor in the show. So, and he's really good. I really liked his character, and it's kind of deadpan, kind of with it, but also clueless. And, a lot of times he just made me laugh. He was the one that really made me laugh. So, I'm up with my final day up here at the park. And just thought I'd do a little bit of talking and recording. So yeah, with Hacks, the ending, final episode was all quite interesting, especially, for, I'm basically the same age as Jean Smart, I guess. Maybe she's a couple years younger. Something around the same age. So, having occurred what occurred, to Deborah Vance there in the episode is something that, a lot of older viewers might relate to. I certainly did, when she's choosing which way to go, and and then ultimately goes, well, I guess I have another hour, if you work with me. So there's a beautiful little white doggie. So so I thought that was well done. It was, it was slightly, a couple of the episodes felt a little bit drawn out. I already knew what was going to happen. Like, I guess it was the second to the last one. Was that the box? Yeah, I think that might have been the box one, and I don't know. I kind of knew what was going to happen like right away. So it's like, okay, come on, you can make something out of this. But then, of course, there was this big twist, which surprised me. Yeah. So the plot of the whole thing was more or less ridiculous. All these things that she rides on very top of showbiz through. And we never really see that much of a protracted show of Deborah Vance, which was smart, because it's like, if you present somebody as this great comic and then present their stuff within the show, and it's not like great, so it's then it all kind of a few jets here. Yeah, so then the assumptions for the character go out the window if she, would do a stand-up thing, and it wouldn't be, a whole lot funny. So, so that there's that. So, yeah, so I thought they handled it really well, and all the characters were quite good in their little side dramas they were going through. We don't go all that deep into, except Deborah and Hannah's character, whose name I've forgotten at the moment. So we only go into their two characters really all that much, where everybody else is sort of in the peripheral and have their little side dramas and things they do. Oh yeah, it's like today. This is not an atmosphere for opening a casino. So a few of these things were a little preposterous. But see, that's the thing. It's the getting there. It's the characters. It's the interaction of the characters that really drove, the show, this particular show, and the skill and the likability of the performers. So, it didn't really. The storyline doesn't really matter, so I didn't really care what happened in the very, very end. So, it all just goes on as far as I'm concerned. So I think that's pretty much that.